Oh baby, the sailing release date was announced and the hype boat set sail. The assets have been added to the game and the countdown has officially begun. Jagex are hard at work bug busting in the lead up, so we've got our fingers crossed for a smooth launch. In the sailing technical pre-release, they've advised the actual update will go ahead 2 hours before launch time, meaning you can be logged in from around 8 AM UK time and waiting for when the skill gets unlocked at 10 AM. Following on from the hint provided by our favourite gnome/monkey,
GM RuneScape.
He mentioned checking out the skill guide in our menu. There's some extra information we can glean from here besides the usual stockpile resources recommendations. Just like Herblore needs Druidic Ritual, Sailing needs you to complete Pandemonium before you can begin training. This is started by speaking to Will and Anne at Port Sarim. So at 10 AM on release date, this will be where you want to be waiting. On top of Pandemonium, there are 3 more quests that also unlock additional sailing content that we'll touch on throughout the video. The boats menu does what it says on the tin. Looks like there are 3 types of boat: raft, skiff, and sloop. This is basically small, medium, and large. Because you can have up to 5 boats at a time, I'd imagine that different boats will be used for different purposes. Ports can be found in most habited areas. You'll see some familiar names as well as some new ones. The Summer Shore is unlocked with the new quest Troubled Tortugans, introducing the new Tortugan faction and providing access to the Great Conch, a new island with some of the new resources available to be gathered, as well as the location of the new Slayer boss. The Shellbane Griffon has a new pet, stab weapon, and consumables to clog. Ports will be where we take deliveries and pick up new port tasks, as well as other features. If ports are where you set sail from, mooring points are where we're aiming to get to, with lucrative opportunities for skilling and Slayer for those who can get there first. The first island unlocks at 40 sailing, meaning you'll have plenty of time to get to grips with the mechanics before you set sail for adventure. A few mooring points of note are Laguna Aurora, which has a new spirit tree patch, meaning there's something worth returning here for. Charred Island, where the new lava strike worms will be. These new Slayer mobs will drop dragon sheets for high-level shipbuilding. And finally Grimstone is another highlighted destination where the devs have previously announced frost dragons will reside. Requiring 87 sailing, it might take a while before we get there. Moving on to port tasks, we've already had a taste of these, taking jobs from the board and then fulfilling the requirements. On release, we'll have 2 types of tasks available: courier tasks, where we ferry goods between ports, and bounties, unlockable later on at level 30. This will involve the new ship-based combat that we've not experienced yet. Sea charting is an extra way to gain XP, from generic charting when reaching new areas to these new charting methods listed. It looks like the new quests will introduce us to these new charting methods, so rushing these might be the play for some quicker early levels. A combination of charting while completing port tasks will make up the bulk of early sailing training, as well as the XP rewarded from completing the quests themselves. Shipwreck salvaging is our AFK sailing training method. Using a salvaging hook on shipwrecks, we'll pull up treasure before sorting through it at a port on a salvaging station. Merchant shipwrecks are clearly the most lucrative option. The Barracuda trials involves navigating obstacle courses at sea, delivering rum and lost supplies to the Barracudas as quickly as possible. Higher tiers of difficulty provide additional sailing XP with a boost for your first completion. Shipwreck salvaging and Barracuda trials offer additional hands-on, or off, methods of training your sailing skill. In our core boats menu, we can see everything that we'll be aiming to build once we have access to the shipyards. Depending on how quick early levels go, you may be able to skip the oak and iron upgrades and move straight to something more sturdy like teak. Our new materials will come into play at level 67, with the camphor hull requiring the new camphor logs. Before this, mahogany and teak hulls appear to need lead, which is available from the Pandemonium Cave, meaning this is unlocked after the initial quest. The different boat facilities are going to be our interactive additions to our vessels. Some of the more interesting options include cannons, whatever an inoculation station is, and even a portable salvaging station. Being able to sort through salvage without having to go back to port will be a big quality of life upgrade. The highest tier cannon is Dragon, requiring rosewood planks, dragon nails, dragon metal sheets, and a dragon cannon barrel. Finally, we can look into recruiting crewmates at level 40 sailing. Each new crewmate has their own requirements for hire, with Captain Syad needing the completion of Taurus Trap. Being able to rehire Cabin Boy Jenkins as a ghost crewmate provides a nice wave of nostalgia. Very cool to see him brought back. Finally, a high-level crewmate needs 100 Temper or Subdues, so well worth heading over to Tempe before the skill comes out to farm a little KC. At 90 sailing, you probably have some time before you're anywhere near recruiting. Each crewmate will have their own strengths and weaknesses that you'll need to manage to your advantage. Jagex have kindly announced that to get ahead, we can collect some resources beforehand. Normal oak, teak and mahogany logs and planks, swamp tar, flax, coins, cannonballs, swamp paste and rope, and metal bars and nails ranging from bronze up to rune. If you haven't stockpiled yet, try and set some aside ready for the release date. Now is the time for that blast furnace grind you've been putting off. As for me, what will I be doing to prepare? Well, I'm 2 woodcutting levels off of being able to boost to 92 to cut rosewoods, so you can catch me at Teaks until next Wednesday. Just remember, unless you're racing to 99, then you can take the skill at your own pace. Not everyone will be able to engage with everything straight away. With all the hybrid training methods and new content being added alongside sailing, this should keep even the most terminally online OSRS players busy for a while. One thing's for sure though, the sailing haters will all be converted on the 19th of November. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Zelia OSRS for more old school content.